I'm Bea.
And I'm Sam.
And we're two best friends who like to talk shit about smut, wingspan,
and sometimes books.
And welcome to our Author Spotlight, where twice a month we like to sit down to talk about our favourite books.
Completely spoiler-free and the perfect way to top up the TBR.
Hello.
Hello.
Okay?
Yeah, you okay?
Yeah.
The episode that nearly didn't happen.
Oh, what a palaver.
So for anyone listening, this doesn't impact you because the schedule is as scheduled, but I started reading April's book.
Yeah, it was only when Sam very kindly again, because she's number one co-host, CFO, co-CEO, what else are you? There's probably other things.
Yeah.
Is once again pulling the slack for us this month and covering both the author spotlights. And she posted a little Instagram the other day and tagged the book and the author that she was reading. And I just so happened to be editing an episode at the same time. And I was like, because we just talked about what books are coming up in March. And that isn't March's book. But I was like, let me just go have a look. And when I looked on the schedule, I was like, yeah, it's not March's book, it's April's book. So I text Sam, Sam.
I've got a head start on April.
Yeah, you
25% or 30% into that book.
Is it even your book for April or is it my book for April?
No, it's yours.
Oh, so we're going to swap
rounds.
Okay.
Yeah, because I'm like, no, I've started. I'm not.
Yeah.
Yeah, what a palaver. So then I was like, oh my God, I've got like a week to read. And to be fair, I've read it in a day, so it's fine. But yeah. I was like, oh my God, I've got a week to read this book now. So yeah.
You'll probably hear on Wednesday's episode, which is our interview with Chris K. Haynes, how much Sam has to read at the moment. Like she literally talks in the intro about like how much she's overcommitted herself. And then she went and just like was like, do you know what? I'm already playing it on hard mode. Let's just make it a little bit harder.
Literally no cheats.
Yeah.
I've just said yes to every arc, to every bit to read, to anything and everything. I've said yes to Bea, who is writing and needs support in reading. I'm like, yeah, I'll read all your books as well. And now I'm drowning.
Yeah.
But we digress.
But you really enjoyed this when you did read the right book.
Oh, you wait, Bea. You're going to have to read this at some point.
Yeah, I will. 100%.
So this month, I eventually read Secrets of the Dead by Laura Carter.
Yes.
So a little bit about Laura. Laura grew up in rural Scotland before moving to London to study for her degree in English literature, where she lived for 10 years before moving back to the countryside with her Romanian rescue dog, Rez. She grew up constantly immersed in different worlds through reading and always dreamed of becoming an author. When her love of fantasy and romance was reignited after 3 years of only ever critically analysing work, her dream of creating her own worlds returned. She now balances working full-time for a cancer charity with writing her debut series, The Lost Kingdom Saga.
So I was kind of doing my own little research earlier about this book, and Laura Carter is actually a really viral TikTok video that I have seen like a bajillion times about this series. And then it clicked in my head, like, the connection, but I hadn't made it prior. So like this was a really, really, really viral video about like she did about her series, and I have to say it sounds fucking class.
So I didn't actually read the blurb before I read the book. I just went straight, like I was in panic mode because I was like, I haven't got long to read this book, so I didn't even read about what the book was about. I just dived straight in. But now I'm really glad that I didn't read the blurb. So I'll read the blurb for you, or the book description. A princess dealing with the trauma of her past, an assassin who rules the kingdom underworld, a disgraced woman banished by her family, the grandson of a usurper. When an explosion kills all the royal families in the kingdom of Novicia, 4 unlikely heirs are forced to take their parents' place. Naive and inexperienced, the rulers must not only learn to lead their realms, but grapple with their newly heightened powers. To uncover the mystery of their families' deaths, the four must come together to uncover the truth. But as secrets are revealed and a prophecy predicts one of them will destroy the kingdom, no one can be trusted, not even the dead. But I'm glad I didn't read that, because obviously in that it tells you that all the royal families are killed.
Yeah.
So when the royal families were killed, I was like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
And I've put here as well the dedication of the book. For anyone else that also uses writing or reading as an escape from the struggles of real life. And I was like, yep, us, hi.
Us. That's me.
And I've written here in capital letters, read your trigger warnings.
Oh,
okay,
really?
This book does come, particularly surrounding family death.
Okay.
Death of parents, death of siblings, read your trigger warnings.
Okay. Good to know.
You can get this on Kindle for £4.39 or on paperback for £13.99. This is going to be 5 books.
Wow.
2 are out already. Book 3 comes out on the 18th of March.
Oh, exciting. Okay.
Yeah, so literally like 2 weeks away. Blink and neck, where to begin with this story? So, the way this kingdom realm is set up, but it's not a rectangle, but for purposes of laying it out, I'm going to explain it as a rectangle. So imagine a rectangle. The 4 corners are your 4 different realms, and each of them is overseen by a king and queen. And then in the very middle, you've got the neutral city, which does what it says on the tin, it's neutral. That's where sort of like the kings and queens come to meet and talk about things that concern the whole realm. But also when they enter the neutral city, all their magic is extinguished. So everyone's on level footing in the neutral city, like nobody has the upper hand. Each realm is different and the magic in that realm is different. So we've got the realm of Caris, which is like desert, sandy land, and their magic is fire. We've got the realm of Nerida, which is like set around lots of lakes and rivers and seas, and they have water magic. We have the realm of Valor, which is like an icy mountain range, and their magic is sort of that they can manipulate the air, but they can obviously make the air much colder so that forms ice. They can condense the clouds together and make it snow, that sort of thing. And then you have Garadon, which is all like luscious forests and trees, and they've got earth magic. So like calling up vines, growing plants and flowers and making everything blossom and bloom. So the realm that we're on is Novicia. That isn't the realm that they initially hail from. They lived somewhere called Itherion. And at the beginning of the book, all you're told is that all the leaders, everyone fled Itherion and set up camp in Novicia and made Novicia their own. So that's where they live. So the first 4 chapters of this book are from 4 different POVs. So first chapter, you meet Nysea. She's introduced as an assassin of the Red Stones, and she's on an assassination mission for the king. She's the king's like private assassin. So she gets to her mark and the king and queen are there. And she's like, for fuck's sake, why are they there when they've asked me to assassinate this person? Like, why could they not just stay away? And I don't want to see them. We only converse in letters. Like, I don't want to see them. So she completes the assassination, sees the king and queen, and her first words are, father. So you're like, fuck, she's the princess. Oh my God. Like, that fucking floored me straight away. Chapter 1, and my jaw's on the floor. Chapter 2, then, we meet Laurel, who is living on the streets, and you see her going around different merchants in the market stalls, asking if they've got any leftovers, if they've got anything they can spare. And she's trying to get a job at a house who are looking for cleaning ladies, basically. And that chapter ends with she gets pushed to the floor by the royal guard because the prince has come to the market. And it ends with her being like, oh my God, I fucking hate my brother. and you find out that she's an exiled princess. I know. Then chapter 3, we meet Elisara. So you find out straight away Elisara is a princess. She's got a lovely relationship with her dad, who's the king. But her two older sisters, who are first and second in line for the throne, are horrible to her. Like, really, really fucking mean, really nasty. And then we meet Caleb, who... Again, you find out straight away he's a prince. His dad's the king, but Caelim's like fourth in line to the throne. But what's really interesting about Garradon, where Caelem is from, is they usurped the throne. So they don't have any earth magic because the magic passes through like the royal family line. And because they usurped the throne, they don't have any. But his father's horrible to him, beats him, like really, really mean. But he's got older and younger siblings. But yeah, he's like fourth in line to the throne. So like the four that we meet are never going to rule, really, you assume. And Elisara, who is from Vala, which is the icy mountain range, and Calem are betrothed.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you get introduced to the four main characters. Then there's an explosion in the neutral city when the rulers are having a meeting. But not only all the kings and queens are there, but all the siblings of these four, except these four. So a lot of the question is, well, why weren't we invited if it was, you know, like every royal had to be there, but everyone's killed. Literally gone. So then you've got an assassin princess, an exiled princess, and a princess and a prince who are betrothed, who all get thrust into being kings and queens. They've got no choice. Like, and that's then what the story follows. It follows them finding their powers, because when you've got a royal line, the powers are sort of dispersed between the royal family. But because everyone dies, other than with Caleb, because obviously they're not part of the royal line, the three princesses inherit all the power, which you shouldn't really have because it's usually more dispersed between all your children and whatever. So they're all mad powerful now and they don't know how to control it. So like you're seeing them learn how to control their powers, learn how to rule a kingdom, learn how to work with other kings and queens. And they're trying to find out who planted this explosion, what happened, like how did all our family get wiped out? And they find a prophecy which is very much indicating that they're all part of something bigger. Ooh. And I think that's all I can really tell you without spoiling anything.
Yikes. That sounds fucking class. I kind of like, I hadn't got all of that, but a lot of that I had got from her viral video. But it sounds incredible.
Honestly, some of the plot twists in this, I've never read something so fast in all my life. I was actually like, just to try and get through it because, yeah.
I love it.
I messaged Laura last night and I said that Nizea was one of my favourite characters and she was like, oh, people don't usually like her in book one. And I was like, oh, well, I fucking love her.
Oh, cool.
Yeah,
that's
so
good.
That was interesting. But yeah, honestly, these characters are delightful.
Oh, I can't wait. I can't wait to read this.
Yeah, it's class.
Should we do some questions?
Yes, please.
What was your favourite part of the book?
I had a lot of favourite parts, to be fair, because it's almost like 4 different stories in one, because you've got the 4 different realms and you've almost got like 4 main characters. But as I said, Nizea was an assassin. She's part of the Redstone Assassins, which is like an assassin's guild that like sort of lives underground and like rules themselves almost. But when she becomes queen, obviously she has a royal guard then that she inherits from her parents. And all the assassins that she used to live with turn up and like drop down, and they've all got her royal guard like with knives to their throats, and they're like they can't look after you, like clearly they didn't even hear us coming. So instead of just like sacking them all or whatever, she says, okay, I'll set you all a challenge. If they can disarm you 3 times, you're out. You find another job. You can be in my guard, but not in my royal guard. You'll just be in the military, and
Yeah.
that assassin will replace you as the royal guard.
Hmm.
But if they can't disarm you, you can keep your job. And I don't know, there's just something so funny about that because she's supposed to be all like regal and the queen
Yeah.
now, and she's setting a challenge to like find
Hmm.
out if you're going to be in a royal guard or not. And that just, yeah, it just tickled me. I thought it was so funny.
I love that. I love it. So did you race to the... Oh, stupid quiet. Why do we ask you this question? I don't know why we bother with. You should just
I
back
don't
it
think
off
I've
your
ever
ones.
slow burned a book in my life.
Never. You've never taken more than like 3 days to read a book ever. Did you race to the end, or was it more of a slow burn?
I raced to the end. And not only because I was on a time crunch,
You
genuinely
read the
because
wrong book.
yeah, not because I started the wrong book. I genuinely was just loving it so much that like I couldn't put it down. I read 70% of this book yesterday in one sitting. So
Wild.
yeah.
Loved it. Which scene has stuck with you the most?
So I suppose all of the royals being killed off. If you've read the blurb, then that's not so much of a shock to you. But because I wasn't expecting it, yeah, that I was like, flipping heck, that's not where I saw this going. Like, I was like, what the fuck? So yeah, that obviously like surprised me because I hadn't read my blurb. Obviously, knowing people read blurbs before they start books, then maybe that's not everyone's. But yeah, for me, that was it.
So again, silly question, because you've already told me you're reading the second book as soon as you possibly can, but would you want to read another book by this author?
Yes, I'm reading this whole series, absolutely. Like, Laura, whatever you will give to me, I will read, because her writing, like, I know we say this and it sounds really stupid, but her writing is so readable. Like, it's a complex world, like, there's different kingdoms, there's different magic systems, but you never feel slogged down in world building. It's so readable. The characters feel so real. They literally come off the page. Like, I can't get enough of her writing. I'm almost gutted that I raced to the end, but like I'm chuffed because I've read it and it was class, but I'm gutted it's over now. And I've got other stuff that I have to read for the podcast. Not have to, but like, you know, I've got other stuff that I've committed to. So I can't read book 2 straight away, but best believe by the end of March, I'll have read book 2 and 3.
We don't doubt you for 1 second. What surprised you the most about this book?
Oh, I can't really say because I don't want to.
Okay.
I don't want to ruin anything, but love interests.
Okay.
That's what surprised me about this book.
How did your opinion of the book change as you read it?
I suppose I didn't really go in with an opinion. So, like I said, like I literally dived straight in. Didn't read anything about this book, didn't do any research. So, like, I just let the book wash over me, and I'm glad that I did it that way because everything was so genuine reactions to everything. Like, I had no preconception of what was going to happen in this book. My opinion of one character did change really negatively through the book, but I won't say who or why or what.
Okay. How does this book's title work in relation to the book's contents?
So I won't say too much, but the royal families that passed away, there are some big secrets within these families. And you know, that's what the book is about then, really. Okay.
And finally, did this book remind you of any other books?
So many, but not in a, oh, I've read this before kind of way.
Yeah.
Oh my God, like this is giving me all the vibes. So I would say, if you like The Bridge Kingdom by Danielle Jensen, you're going to love this book. And I assume this series. If it carries on the way book 1 has started, then you're going to love this series. If you love The Broken Kingdoms by L.J. Andrews, you will love this series, especially like the scene I just told you with the assassins and the royal guard. That gave me like Case and Marley vibes, and just like heists and pranks. Like that gave me like all of that sort of vibe. And then the way that the different kingdoms are all intertwined, you know, like with Case and Marley being friends with all the other rulers as well. It gave me that kind of vibe. It also gave me big, you haven't read this, I know, but Trial of the Sun Queen by Nisha Tully.
Okay.
So yeah, if you loved The Bridge Kingdom, you will love this. If you loved the Broken Kingdom series, you will love this. And if you loved Trial of the Sun Queen, you will love this. Laura Carter came to play. Like, she didn't come to mess
She
around.
came, yeah. She came with big punches.
Honestly, like, I can't tell you the emotions that I've had reading this book. It was class.
I bet. Yeah, it sounds amazing. I can't wait to read it.
Big LGBTQ plus representation. So snaps for that, Laura, because I loved it. They're some of my favourite relationships in the book.
Woohoo! Snaps for that. Oh, it just sounds like an absolute delight. I can't wait to read this.
Absolutely class, honestly.
Amazing.
Couldn't recommend this highly enough.
And if you do decide to read this based off this episode, please tell us. Slide into our DMs.
Please let us know.
Yeah. And we're coming to the end of our author spotlights. We've got an end of March one, and then we've got 2 in April. And we're not done as in it's not going away, but we're effectively starting season 2 of that. So if you've enjoyed this, please tell us, because we want to know if you like it. I know a lot of you guys do tell us that you read this based off author spotlights, but let us know if you're enjoying it. Do we keep doing it? We'd like to, definitely.
Yeah. Oh my god, absolutely. And if you know indie authors, or you've found somebody, you've stumbled across a book and loved it and thought not enough people are reading this, then send it to us, because we can reach out to the author, we can try and do something.
And we will be opening season 2 slots soon.
Yes, so you can tag any authors we'll do the same as last time. We'll put a post up about it. You can tag authors, they can fill in the form, and we can get another year's worth of author spotlights under our belt. Yeah.
Crazy.
But, yeah, if anyone has read Secrets of the Dead by Laura Carter, reach out. I need somebody to talk to.
Please. Wonderful. Well, there's another author spotlight.
Tick, tick. Yeah, we'll be back at the
bag.
End of the month, and I apologise, it's my voice again.
Oh, no one's sick of it.
I am.
Anyway. I'm not. Wonderful.
Oh, are we done?
Yeah.
Oh, lovely.